There was this experience I had with an elderly woman who the relatives have sent to a traditional home, somewhere like a herbalist place, to be healed of. The woman has become now very talkative, easily irritable. The least thing, this woman gets angry. And then the family just couldn't fathom what was really going on or what was happening with the woman. That's why they sent her to the herbalist home. Till I met them. One of the elderly woman's daughter told me their mom has drastically changed. She has suddenly become talkative. The least thing she gets angry. Her skin has become wrinkled. There are things she don't used to do, now she's doing them. But then, trying to look for a way out, they don't know what to do. Talking further with them, I realized the woman had what we call menopause. Today, we'll be discussing menopause. You are welcome to CLARIBEL Health Hub, and I'm your regular presenter, Clarice. What is menopause? Every woman, as long as you started the cycle we call menstruation, you will come to an age where this particular cycle comes to an end. Intriguingly, we have realized over time, knowledge now abounds a lot, but it hasn't gotten to all of us at the same time. Note, we have three main stages of menopause. Three. The first one is what we call premenopausal stage. It takes about 10 years for a woman to go through this premenopausal stage. According to literature, it starts around age 40 and will end around age 50 or 52. On average, worldwide, it's around 51. The menopause stage is where the woman has gone a whole year without experiencing any menstruation. Then we have what we call the postmenopausal stage. The postmenopausal stage is all the years after the first 12 months without menstruation. Surprisingly, we term all of them menopausal. But thank God today we have come to this knowledge. My lovely viewer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button. Do send us your questions and your comments. It will help us bring you much more informative health education. What will one see to say that she is experiencing premenopause, menopause, or has been after menopause? Most of the time, the postmenopausal stage is not difficult to identify because the woman can tell you, I have had 12 solid months without menstruation. She has just gone into her postmenopausal stage. The most worrisome part of the menopause stage has been the premenopause stage. The woman experiencing a lot of changes right from her head down to her feet. They are all not very obvious. There are some that takes place within the individual. She can only tell about what she is experiencing. The hormones that control the feminine cycle has been what we called follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Most people will talk about estrogen and progesterone. Yes. At this stage of one's life, these hormones all comes down, really down, that they don't have any more effect. Let me come to our brain, where we have the centers that control the release of the hormones to control a lot of the things that goes on in the body. Ladies, what really help us to maintain our beauty and our shine and the glow on our face? That which help our hair to look that shiny and beautiful. That which help us become that busty and glorious on our chest. That which help us maintain the shapes and the curves God has given us. beautifully enough, behind us, we have what our mommies gave us. Behind us, we have what our mommy gave us, which we love to shake from time to time. At this stage, we lose most of this beauty and glow. Why? The hormones that were maintaining them has been withdrawn from the system. It is a natural process. It is a natural process. It's not a disease. It's not a sickness. Unfortunately for a few women, when these changes happen, come to talk about our hair, we realize that we begin to lose our hair. They become much lighter. And unfortunately for a few women, we lose our frontal hair. So it looks like our hairline has moved back. Some really lose the hair we call alopecia. Then the skin becomes dry and wrinkled. It's not your fault, it's nature. Interestingly, the breast now loses the heaviness. Why? Because a lot of the adipose tissue goes away. Some of us now begin to load weights, a lot of fat in our middle belt, around the tummy and around our foot, on the arms. I've heard quite a number of women say they really don't fancy this kind of fat loading on themselves. The butt and the hips will lose their heaviness. Some really lose a lot of fat and muscle. The heart, we experience a lot of palpitations. Palpitations are rapidly beating heartbeats that you really can feel sometimes when you are sitting. We become very talkative or very quiet. We have a number of things that will prove to the woman that she has gotten to the premenopausal stage. The most common that most women complain of is what we call hot flashes. Hot flashes are sudden feeling of warmness or hotness of the person. Some really feel sweaty all over their face, on their neck. And then within a short time, they become so cold. This is one of it. One other symptom that we can easily look at is the losing of hair. The hair becomes thin, fall off, and really the hairline moves back. For some people, others, the hairline at the back moves up. Yes, we have all these kind of changes taking place in the same person. Some also have dry and wrinkled skin very early. For some, it comes around the latter part of premenopausal stage. Come again to talk about it. When we talk about the wrinkles, they are not only on your face, and you get the wrinkles because you are getting dry skin. Your skin is becoming more dry, so your palms will become dry. Your regular body tone itself, you realize that it has also changed. These are all signs and symptoms of the premenopausal stage. Also, you lose some glow on your breast, on your hips, and in your butt. But we load fats, and most of these fats are kept on our upper arm, around our middle belt, especially on our tummies, and sometimes in our lower feet or in the lower part of our bodies. Because these are more fats, they are not like the muscles which have been shaped to keep the glow and the curves. So the woman now becomes more straight. A lot of women don't like these changes taking place, but they do happen. I can't forget this. That special machine God has given to the woman to make her the outstanding woman she is. I mean, our natural pots. Coming to talk about our natural pots, I hope you know what I'm talking about. I mean the V. It becomes dry. We have some folds within the vagina we called rugae. At menopause, they are absent. The vagina now becomes much more smoother. The lubrication that used to be there is no more there. So women will be complaining of pain during sex. Unfortunately, some bleed during sex. Please don't sit at home as you experience these signs and symptoms, especially with the bleeding at this time. When you are having abnormal bleeds, you finish menstruating, you are having a bleed, or originally in premenopausal stage itself, the menses doesn't come regularly like you have always been having every 28 days, every 24 days, every 35 days, and then it will come for about 5 or 6 days. At this stage, the cycle changes totally. It comes at its own whims and whimsicals. One that happens is, it might not come at the time you will be expecting, because you know every 28 days you will menstruate. But this time, it can come earlier or later. Some can even go 2 or 3 months without menstruation. Then again, what you can also realize is, instead of having your regular 5 days or 7 days menstruation, you have about a day or 2 and it's finished. Some will not even ovulate. When these things are happening and you're also becoming very irritable, the least thing you get angry, you easily become happy, you easily become sad. Some individuals do get these kind of symptoms to the extreme. Unfortunately for a few women, this is the time they will be exhibiting hypertension, high blood pressure symptoms, as well as increased blood sugars. So they will be showing a lot of urinating, and in fact, at this time, the bladder becomes weak as well. And one thing I also realize, even sometimes when the woman is laughing, she realizes she's wet with urine. It's not intentional. It is something that is taking place in the system. So it's very important for all of us to note this, so we can help our mothers, our sisters, our friends and our cousins who are going through this. Lest I forget, when you are having the severe forms of these symptoms, please don't sit at home. Go to the nearest health facility. Talk to the health workers. They always, usually, will get a way to help you out. And this is the time, women, we need to be more alert on all that we are experiencing. Let's try and record these things so that when you go to the hospital, you'll be asked a lot of questions. That will also help to inform, to note the state of life you have gotten into. Note this: women in the premenopausal and menopausal stages easily forget. I remember one of the days my mom was in her glasses and was still looking for her glasses. I have a friend who was talking on her phone and I could see her scattering around. I asked, "What is it?" She said, "I'm looking for my phone." Lovely. The friend on the other side of the phone was laughing and asked her, "But which one are you talking on?" That was when she realized, oh, when you have parents, when you have mothers, when you have elderly women, when you have women in their middle years having such things, please don't tease them. Don't laugh at them. It's a stage of life. If you are a young lady, you will surely get there one of these days. So, there are some individuals who will have early menopause, or what we call artificial menopause. It's not the natural thing that has come to them, but as a result of a disease, some kind of medications the individual is on, or by accident. Some of these include women who have had their ovaries removed. These include women who have had their ovaries removed, women who are having imbalance of hormones. Some as well will get conditions that will affect the whole system where the hormones are not well coordinated, they are not well balanced, throwing off the hormonal cycle itself, bringing the woman to what we also call menopause. Therefore, I want to conclude on this note that we have the natural menopause and we have artificial menopause. They will all usually come down with the same signs and symptoms for us to know that this is the stage they've gotten in. Women who get the artificial menopause usually have the severe symptoms of menopause. In our next episode, we will be discussing the management, the natural management of menopause, so that we'll be able to help ourselves and see what we can do to help our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, and our daughters live much more healthier and fruitful, long life. Thank you. Do well to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button. Do send us your questions and your comments. We will be glad to give you appropriate feedbacks as and when we receive them. Stick and stay right here with us. I'm your host, Clarice.